In today's video, we are going to recreate this test animation in Adobe After Effects without any third-party plugin. So before we dive straight into the video, please click on the subscribe button and also like this video to push my video out there, and it's also going to help my channel grow. So without wasting much time, let's dive straight into the video.
Let's get into it.
The first thing you're going to do is to create a new composition for our project. Okay, so you click on this button that says new composition. If you're not seeing this panel, you can use on the menu bar here, you click on composition and then you select new composition. Okay, so I click on this to open the composition settings. So in here I can rename the composition name. So in my case, I am going to type in final as the name of the composition. And under preset, I am going to choose one of these presets for my composition. Okay, so I'm going to use social media landscape 1920 by 1080 pixels at 30 frames per second. Okay, so you can choose any size you want. Okay, then you click on okay. So in our composition, what you are going to do first is we are going to create a background for our video. So you right click at this empty space, you select new, and then you select solid. So I'm going to click on this button here to open the color options, and I'm going to select white as my background and click on OK. So automatically we have this here. The next thing to do is to lock this layer so that I don't accidentally move this around. Okay, so I can accidentally click and then move this by mistake. So in order to prevent that, I am going to lock this layer by clicking on this button here. So now I can't move my layer around. The next thing I'm going to do is to get the type tool here to type something on the composition. So in my case, I am going to type in animation. So I am using a font type that is Bebas New. Okay, I'm using the weight bold. Now I am going to center this test animation here at the center of the composition. So to do that, I am going to use the align panel to align it into the center of the composition. If you're not seeing this alignment panel, you go to window and then you are going to see align. This is it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to center this anchor point here. So on the keyboard, I am going to combine the Control, the Alt, and then the Home key to center the anchor point. Now the next thing to do is to convert this text layer into a shape layer. And then we are going to animate each of the characters we have in this word animation. So to do that, we are going to right click on this layer. We are going to select create, and then you click on create shapes from text. A new layer is going to be created. Now it is not an editable text layer, it is now a shape layer. Okay, the thing we are going to do is to duplicate this layer some number of times, okay, so that we can be able to make each character on a separate layer. So to do that, we are going to duplicate this layer with the number of characters we have in this word. So let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 characters. So on the I'm going to select this layer, and then on the keyboard you are going to combine the Control key and then the letter D. So Control D, a new duplicate has been created. So I'm going to repeat that process till we get 9 characters. Sorry, 9 layers. Okay, so now that we have 9 layers, we are going to make each character to belong to an individual layer. To do that, we are going to click on this to expand this. We go to the content, and then you click on this A, you hold down the shift key, and then you click on the last letter of the character, that is N, to select all. And then we are going to hold down the Control key and then click on A. Okay, so to deselect this, and then you press on the backspace to delete everything. And then we are going to rename this layer with the character name. So having this selected, you press on the enter key on the keyboard and then you type in A and you press on the enter key again. So it means that if I select this layer, you see that the A is selected. So we are going to repeat the same process throughout the rest of the layers. So let's do it one more time. Now we want to eliminate the rest of the characters, leaving the N. Okay, so you click on this arrow here to expand. You click on content and then you click on this, hold on the shift key and then you click on this to select all. And then we want only N, leaving the rest. Okay, so you click on, you hold down the control key and then you click on the N here. You press on the backspace to delete the rest. Then you are going to rename this to what? N. So now if I select this, you realize that the N here is selected. If I select this, you realize that the A is selected. Okay, so we are going to repeat the same process throughout. So this time around, I'm going to be faster on this for the sake of time. So now we have all the characters on a separate or individual layers. Okay, so if I select this, you have A N I M A T I O N. Okay, so we are going to animate these characters one after the other. Okay, so starting from the first one, that is the A that begins the word. So the next thing I'm going to do is to click on view and then select show rulers here, and I'm going to click and drag it from the up to a point where I want the animation to hit and then bounce back. Now that we have the ruler set in place, we are going to expand this layer here, content, and then under A we have two layers for that makes up the A shape. Okay, so I click on this to expand the path here. So I'm going to create a keyframe here by clicking on this stopwatch icon. So it creates a keyframe. Okay, so I am going to move my playhead to from 0 to I think 1 second. So let me zoom in the timeline here. So at 1 second, I'm going to create another keyframe. So I click on this diamond icon here to create another keyframe here for both layers, and then I move to 2 seconds and I click on this to create another keyframe. Okay, so I use this arrow to navigate among the keyframes. Okay, so I move to the middle keyframe. What I'm going to do is at the middle keyframe, I am going to hold down the shift key to select the two A layers. Okay, then with my move tool, I am going to click and then drag over these resizable buttons around the character. Okay, so with that, I am going to hold click one of them and then move it down. So whilst moving it down, you press and hold down the shift key to move it on a straight line. So if I bring my playhead from at the beginning, it is going to be like this. Okay, so it bounces back like that. Starting, it bounce back and then move to the original position. So we are going to do the same process for the rest of the characters. Okay, but before we do for the rest of the characters, let's smoothen up these keyframes. So to do that, having all of these keyframes selected, then you right click on one of them and then you select keyframe assistant and then you click on easy ease. Okay, so let's play from the beginning and see. Back and it bounce back. So now let us collapse this and then you press on U on the keyboard to bring only the layers or the properties that has the keyframes on it. Okay, so we are going to work on the N. So I expand the N to content, and then where we have the N, I click on the N again to get the path. Okay, and then I click on the stopwatch here. I scroll down to use this as a clue or guide in order to have the keyframe on the same timeline. So I click on this arrow to move to the next one, and then I click on this diamond icon to create another keyframe. Move to the last keyframe, and I click on this to create a new keyframe. Now I move to the middle keyframe by using this arrow to move to the previous keyframe. And then with that selected, I am going to highlight on all of these resizable buttons, and then leave this, and then I click and hold down the shift key to move it to the straight line. And then if I play from the beginning, it is going to be like this. Good. And then let me highlight on all of these keyframes as we did for the previous one. You are going to right click on one of them, keyframe assistant, and then easy ease. So if I play from the beginning, we have this. So we are going to do the same thing throughout the last character, that is what the N here. Okay, so at this point I am going to increase the speed at which I'm going to work on it for the sake of time. So now we are done animating each of the characters in this world. Okay, so let's play it from the beginning and see, and then bounce back. Now the next thing we are going to do is to offset each of the layers so that it will be like one will come after, then the next one will come, then the next one will come, like that. Okay, so to achieve that, we are going to show only the keyframes we have on these layers. So I click on the first, hold on the shift key, and then click on the last. And then on the keyboard, I press on the key U to only show the keyframes. So let me expand this a bit. So now I bring my playhead at the beginning, and then I am going to move 5 frames ahead. Okay, so to move 5 frames ahead, you are going to press on the page down key. Okay, 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I am going to copy all of these keyframes and then move it to the playhead. Okay, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to select these keyframes and then move it to the playhead, like that. So I'm going to highlight on these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I move it to the playhead, like that. So I'm going to repeat the same process to the last layer. Okay, so now if we play from the beginning, let's see how it comes, like that. Okay, you see how beautiful our animation is as at now. Now what we are going to do is we want to repeat it once more. Okay, so what you are going to do is we make sure that our playhead is at the last keyframe of the last layer, which is this one, and then we are going to copy the keyframes of the first, that is the A. So Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste. Okay, and then I'm going to move 5 frames ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I copy and then I paste. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I copy this and then I paste. So 1 2 3 4 5. I copy this and I paste. 1 2 3 4 5. I copy this and then I paste. 1 2 3 4 5. I copy this and I paste. 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going to copy this and then I paste. 1 2 3 4 5. I copy this and then I paste. 1 2 3 4 5. And then I copy this and then I paste. Sorry, I copy this and then I paste like that. So let's play it back and see how it looks like. Bounce back, bounce back, like that. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to trim my workspace to the last keyframe. So I'm going to move this here. Okay, and then after that I am going to click on composition and I'm going to say trim come to work area. So I click on that. Now if I play from the beginning, I'm going to have this. So I believe you are done with the animation. The next thing we are going to do is to export this composition. Okay, so how do you export? Okay, you go to composition and then you click on add to render queue. Okay, you click on that, and then in here where it says output to, you click on this link here that says not yet specified. You click on that. It is going to open a dialog box for you to set up the name of the composition and then the destination where you want it to be rendered to. After setting up these settings, then you click on render. So that sound tells you that it has finished rendering your video. So now let's play our video and see how it looks like. So now this is how our animation video looks like. So if you have followed till this time, I thank you very much. And then also make sure you click on the subscribe button and you like this video. If you have any questions regarding this video, please drop it in the comment section and I will attend to them all. So this brings us to the end of today's video. We will see ourselves on the next video. Stay blessed.